Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Here are your hosts, Jmann and Danny, the Midwest motherfuckers.
I'm going to the ghetto to copy your face. I'm supposed to be well.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are happening right now in my basement, and it is fucking freezing.
Yeah, it's like negative something outside. There isn't a temperature.
It's not. I looked at my thermometer this morning and just went, fuck.
Yeah.
Which means it's about maybe 50 degrees in my basement. And if you have picked up on the sound of meowing or the furnace before, we force ourselves to sit with my thermostat on 60, all so that the show can be quieter.
So I hope you all appreciate this, because we are suffering.
That I have a runny nose, and that I can't just like move the shit into one of my daughter's bedrooms so that we can be warm.
I had to put on long underwear today to come in podcast.
That seems a bit extreme.
I forgot my slippers. I was going to bring slippers too, because my feet get fucking cold down
This sounds
here.
like an old man podcast. Like, we didn't have our slippers, and our teeth are chattering down here, and it's fucking awful.
I forgot my insulin shots.
God, my knees are aching. The weather's going to change. So I took my oldest to Sesame Street Live the other day. Second time I've taken her.
You poor bastard.
I actually get a kick out of it because it's not bad because she gets so geeked out. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I can enjoy this. And then I look around at all the MILFs that are there. But, okay, so at one point, we were sitting, like, on the edge of the aisle. We were sitting gold circle because I don't fuck around. When we go, we're sitting close.
Damn right. It's VIP in Sesame
Pretty
Street.
Pretty much. So I thought we'd be on the inside aisle. No, we were on the outside aisle. So I was already like, fuck. But she didn't notice. So there was the stage, and this is the target side of the stage, and they were coming out of like a curtain on the side of the stage, and out walks this like 7-foot tall honker. You know, like the random Muppets that have like a horn for a nose.
Oh, yeah.
So one walks up to her. I'm like, oh, look, there he is. And I'm waving, and she waves, and he puts his hand on. I'm like, shake his hand. And she shakes his hand. And then she doesn't let go. And then she gets up, and she starts walking with him, but kind of behind him. And obviously the person inside the costume didn't have the peripheral vision to know there was a 5-year-old child walking with them.
Right.
So they go to get up on the stage, and she starts walking up the stairs onto the stage. The security guard had to be like, no, come down. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. Because the second she got up, I'm like, is this happening? Is she going to be on stage?
You just said
because I don't have a camera with me. I was just like, oh no, fuck. Oh God, is this part of the show, or is she totally fucking confused? I couldn't get up and go grab her because then I'd be like in the spotlight. And be like, no. So I kind of just like sat behind and didn't want to be caught with the kid that had no fucking idea. Like the one kid in the whole 2 hours of show between the start and the intermission and the two halves of the show that had their kid try to get on stage. Like, so other kids were dancing around in the aisle and shit, and they got told to sit the fuck back down.
Did you bring both of your kids?
One.
So, the only human you had to control and keep an eye on, you let get away and follow the Muppets.
Dude, when a 7-foot-tall Muppet puts their hand out, like, come with me, what are you going to say, no?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
I thought maybe this
he was like,
be...
hey, come on, type of, that's what you thought for a
I
second?
couldn't hear anything, but it just, the gesture was like, oh, come with me. Like, I thought he was going to dance with her, or I don't fucking know. You never know with these things, because... It's like they're going to come out and go, hey, you're sitting on the aisle. Here's the deal. We're going to do this, and your kid can do that, and it'll be pretty special. So, yeah. No, it just fucking happened. And then I called her mom. I'm like, yeah, so she tried to get on stage. She's like, oh, that's lovely. I'm like, come to think of it, didn't she try to do that shit last year, too? Because last year was at the State Theater, which is fucking awesome. Because it's like the Muppet Theater, basically. And we were sitting right on the edge of the aisle, the inside aisle. And it was... Dance Yourself Silly or some shit like that last year. And I'm like, get up and dance, girl. Shake your butt. She gets up. She starts shaking her ass. She gyrates like she's destined for the pole. It's a little concerning as much as it is funny. And then she's like, she'd run down the aisle up to the stage when some of the performers came out and go get hugs and high fives and shit. And I think at one time she tried to follow one of them up to the stage. Then, too. Like, I started, on the way home, I thought about it some more, and I started having this weird deja vu feeling.
So... She's either destined for the pole or the Muppet Theater.
You know, I'm fine with that second one. The first one, I might have to feel a tad responsible. At least sit down and weigh the pros and cons of how I raised her, and if it's directly my fault, or just because she, is predispositioned to wanting attention and being a star. Wrong kind of attention and being a star, though. Look at my titties. My parents did an awful job. Oh, put money in my underpants. It's like, dear God. And from what I hear from the inmates, because I've never been in a strip club. Ever. I have no interest in going. Like when I mentioned that I thought porn was silly and I laugh at it, I think stripping is worse because why would I go there and pay money to see something that I'm going to want to touch that I can't?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat on that. I've never been a fan of
It's
the
a
strip
fucking
club.
tease. It's worse than the lottery. At least the lottery.
I was going to say, I'd rather go and put my money into a slot machine instead.
Rather
where you
than a
have
slut
chance.
machine?
Right, that's what I'm getting at here. Then at least you have a slim chance of getting some money back out of it.
Well,
What are you going to get from a slut machine?
According to the inmates at work, if some guy said, if you got a pocket with a baggie full of shards, you could pretty much have whatever you want in the VIP room. And I'm like, really? That's it? That's all you do is just give busted up pieces of meth to strippers? And they're all like, meow, 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 meow. Just fucking
But then you got to think, is that
going
really
to the
what you
candy
want?
shop. No.
Again, you're not going to get anything pleasant from a slut machine.
I tingle.
Yeah, and some burning maybe.
Later on, yeah. I'm like, oh, this fucking chick totally knobbed me off at the strip club, and now look at this wart.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
Yep. Fucking crackheads. You gotta love them.
Yeah. So other than that, we didn't have anything that we wanted to talk about. And then I threw out the random idea, like, well, we can talk about dreams. And you were like, yeah, let's do that. So tell me about this fucked up dream that you had now. the other
Okay.
day.
It was, I don't know how much I can really remember, but I was at my house, and, like, all of a sudden shit just started happening. Like, I turned on the news, and the news is all like, invasion, blah, blah, blah. See, the other part is I don't remember who was invading.
Oh, damn it. That's the important
But I
part.
looked out my front window in time to see this giant fucking blimp, like Zeppelin-style blimp, coming out of the clouds or disappearing again. I don't remember if it was coming out of clouds or if it was materializing in front of me. You know, like they just got beamed from wherever to wherever.
So if we're talking blimps, we're going to say Nazis.
Big, well, yeah, maybe. That's the only thing I came out of the dream thinking when I was trying to figure out who was invading us. But why the fuck? That don't make any sense.
So you dreamed the game Wolfenstein.
No, I dreamed fucking, it was kind of a Red Dawn thing, but I haven't watched Red Dawn in a long time either. And then here's the other thing. The colors were white and red. It was a white blimp, but red fucking machine soldiers. That's the only way I can really describe them. They were like,
So now you dream Nazi Power Rangers.
no, more like Nazi Terminator. And they were systematically going house to house, you know, and
Just
clearing the
killing
houses. Honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember if they were killing people or capturing people. But I knew I had to get the fuck out of there. I wasn't trying to be killed or captured.
So clearly they weren't delivering Christmas hams.
Right. Yeah, that was quite evident by, I think it might have been lasers being shot. I don't remember. But I knew I had to get to my uncle's to get some guns. Because he has guns.
How far away does your uncle live?
See, that part didn't come into the dream. Like, he must have been living a block away or something. But in reality, he lives, like, a half hour away.
Oh.
And it's not somewhere you're going to just walk to, you know? Like, for some reason, the cars weren't working either. So everybody was just kind of running around all chaotic.
The grid went down.
Yeah.
Cyber attack.
Yeah, see, and then, like I said,
That smells like China.
from after I woke up and remembered all this shit, I couldn't specify who was after us. It could have been, you know, our own government even. Like, there was nothing saying that it was anybody good or anybody bad. It's trippy though. I fucking can't remember.
So it was part Nazis, part communism, part Skynet.
Yeah, and I didn't watch anything because that's the next thing I thought. Okay, what the fuck did I watch last night before I went to bed? And there was nothing that I watched that would have interjected that in my dreams. It was pretty fucking cool though. It was like a weird acid trip of a dream. I love those dreams.
I had a weird dream myself last night, but I woke up at 7:30 and like rolled over and looked at my phone like, fuck, it's morning. And then, you know, the oldest walks in. She's like, Daddy, get up. I'm hungry. I'm like, yeah, okay, hold on. Let me stretch my back. Which is secret code for I'm going to lay here for like 20 more minutes while you continue to pester me until I have to piss bad enough that I'll actually physically get up. And I got up and peed. And then she just basically crawled back into my bed and laid on my arm. I'm like, fuck. Well, she's falling asleep. I'm going back to sleep. And I hadn't really dreamed last night until then. And I'm in my parents' garage, and an ex-girlfriend of mine, I don't know what the hell was going on, and she was mad at me about something. I don't know. And then to satiate her, I felt the need to pull her shirt up, and it's like she had the body of like a 60-year-old, like loose skin on her tits. And I just started like, I don't know if I was trying to get milk from them. I just started sucking her tits. Next thing you know, I'm like, wet up the tip, and I start fucking her. I'm like, this is weird.
So you had like some weird, you fucked essentially a 60-year-old in your dream. But with your ex's face?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then like, I don't know, like people were walking in and out, and like her mom was there. I don't know why her mom was at my parents' house. But I was like, no, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping just because. And then next thing you know, I'm like, well, you know what? Here, turn around. I guess I'll try to do you doggy. But then the next part, I was like in my elementary school doing something, and like the rooms were switched around, and I couldn't get into this old English class. And then I woke up. You said you could remember a lot. I remember just about everything about my dreams because I'm one of those weird people that lucid dream. Like, I wake up and I'm like, holy shit, that's like it just happened. And it's a lot.
That's awesome.
Like, I'll be so deep into it, and usually something will click, and I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming.
And didn't you say you can control your dreams too?
So sometimes I can control what's going to happen. Like, I'll start thinking with my mind what I want to happen, and it'll start to slowly guide the dream to where I want it. But just like in, what was that movie with the dream suggestion that they with DiCaprio and Tom Hardy?
I have no idea.
Oh, god damn it. Inception. You haven't seen that one?
I haven't seen that.
You need to fucking watch Inception. It's trippy. So basically, one thing I learned about from Inception was how in your dreams, once your brain realizes that it's dreaming, like you become conscious that you're in a dream state, all the other people and the forces in your dream like work against you, like trying to wake you up. I know it's all those stimuli and all those people and animals and things and everything goes against you to wake you up. So frequently, I'll start to guide the dream to where I want it, but then things will start going wrong. Like, as soon as I'm about to fucking stick it in, like, there'll be some weird interruption. I'm like, God damn it, I was about to have dream sex. Not again. But, like, some of them I've been able, like, I realized, like, I was floating, and I started flapping my arms like bird wings, and I took off a little bit. But as soon as I realized, oh my God, this is working, I'm flying, that's when I lost the ability to maintain it.
See, this is something that people actually practice years to be able to do. It's called astral projecting. You're able to do what it takes some people fucking years of meditation and bullshit to do.
Yeah, it just happened to me. It started like to be really intense like 10 years ago. And one thing that amplifies it is when I was on overnights and I took melatonin.
Yeah.
Like, I always have very vivid dreams, but melatonin, for some reason, relaxes me even more to where my brain is just like stuck in REM sleep for long extended periods of time and everything's more vivid.
You want to know why?
Like,
I can tell you why.
Muscle memory and sights and sounds. And they say, like, one thing is you can't read in your dreams. Like, the words appear upside down and backwards and jumbly and shit. I got that from a Batman the Animated Series episode. Right? But I can read sometimes in my dreams. But what were you going to say now?
Melatonin is a tryptophan. So this brings us into entheogens perfectly, actually. So tryptophan is one of them things in your brain that controls your sleep. It's melatonin, it's in L-tryptophan is what's in turkey. That's what makes you fall asleep, after a turkey meal. And it's also a main ingredient in like DMT, psilocybin. Those are all basically tryptophans, just different molecules of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so you're getting a fucking psychedelic experience whenever you go to sleep and realize that you're dreaming. Now, I think it would be awesome if you did try some kind of hallucinogen. It doesn't have to be balls deep. It don't have to be acid. There's legal ones you can buy. There's legal ones you can do. And I think you would actually benefit from it.
I don't think I would, because I've never tried that shit, so I would be like way fucking gone. You'd find me naked up a tree somewhere 3 miles from my house with like a popsicle stuck up my ass.
Obviously, you wouldn't do like fucking 10 hits of acid your first time. Or 5 grams of mushroom your first time. Start small. Start small, and you would probably enjoy the hell out of it, first of all. And since you know how to astral project, basically, once you're already in a dream, you could probably control... Well, control is a bad word. You don't ever control a trip. Your trips are like classes.
I'd be able
you go
to
there
respond.
And you learn things during these trips. But since you can already do that with your dream, I feel like you'd be able to bring more back from the trip. Like, a lot of people, when they take these hallucinogens and they have a trip, they know they're learning all kinds of shit, but it's like the dream. You don't bring it all back with you. And depending on the hallucinogen or psychedelic, you can bring back more, or you can bring back less, because they're so intense.
Well, there's also the dark side to my lucid dreaming.
Yeah, that's
sleep paralysis. I get that sometimes.
That's like a bad trip.
It's usually when I'm laying on my back, and I think it's when my tongue goes into the back of my, like it starts to relax in the back of my throat, and I can't breathe as well. And I half wake up because, it's like, you're coming out, but I don't come all the way out of it. So I open my eyes, or it feels that way, and I can see the room I know I'm in.
But you can't move.
But I can't move, and suddenly I have this feeling of sinking, like intense, rapid sinking. It's like, no, fuck! So I have learned how to come out of dreams that I don't like, and I know, like I tell my brain, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to snort on purpose, because that'll jolt me enough that I can move. And I like count down in my head. I'm like, okay, 1, 2, and I'm like, okay, fuck, sit up, so you don't fall back into it. But some of those ones where I'm paralyzed in my sleep, like it feels like I'm being pushed or being spun, and those are the ones I like to call ghost or poltergeist dreams. And people report that shit frequently.
Yeah.
So I mean, not only am I having vivid dreams that I can recall, I have a strategy of how to get out of them. Like, it used to be that I could just be like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And that sort of starts to bring me to, because I'm conscious there. But that sleep paralysis shit, dude, that's fucking awful. It feels like I'm trying to re-shut my eyes to go to sleep, because I'm only half out of it. Because that's what my body naturally wants to do, is pull me back in.
Yeah.
But that's the freakiest feeling. It's like, well, if I close my eyes, I feel like I can't breathe and I can't move and I'm sinking. And it's like, geez, how far is that going to fucking go? Because I've had some trippy... Now, I've had specific dreams way back when I was a kid that I still remember. One specific one involved me skateboarding down this street, like a few blocks from my parents' house. And as I got around this curve, this fucking dog comes barreling out of a garage. And I had this fear of, like, big stray dogs when I was a kid. So this big dog comes up and bites down on my calf. And, like, everything below where he bit disappears on my leg. And I'm sitting there, and, like, fucking cake frosting is coming out instead of blood. Like, there's cake frosting coming out, and then he's trying to, like, eat the cake frosting. I'm like, oh my God, what happened to my leg? Like, there's that one. There's all this other one where I was, like, I'm in some building somewhere, and it was, like, a dining room, and I don't know, they're, like, punk rock terrorists, basically from, like, something out of Mad Max that were looking for us, and it was me hiding out with Fred Flintstone. And they fucking caught us.
Well, yeah, you're hanging out with Fred Flintstone.
Right. So they caught us, and I didn't know what they were going to do to us. So they tied us up to chairs, and they had this, like, this big bowl with a ladle of some stuff, and I didn't know what they were going to do with it. And next thing you know, they start spreading it on our backs. And I had this weird tingly sensation, like, oh no, what are they doing? And they're like, repeat after us. Dick, boobies, butt. I don't know why. I was like 8 years old when I had that dream. But I distinctly remember that one.
That's fucking weird.
But as far as reoccurring dreams, the type of dream I've had the most of in my lifetime, and I've had it like dozens of times, just variations of it, is being at a store looking for G.I. Joes. And then I find them, and I'm looking at them, like seeing which ones they have that I don't have that I want. And I like set the ones I want down, and I keep going to the rack, but then I can't find them. And it's basically G.I. Joe shopping. And I've had that same dream dozens of times. Like, I've been at Toys R Us, I've been at Target, I've been at Kmart, I've been at the Menards store I used to work at. But always G.I. Joes. Never Ninja Turtles, never He-Man. Always G.I. Joes. And G.I. Joe is like my favorite thing as a kid. So I don't know if that ties into it. It's supposed to signify something.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Jesus Christ. Another dream I can recall was being in a chapel, and like my grandpa that had died walked in, and I tried to talk to him, and I was like waving, I was trying to get his attention and shit, but he didn't see me, and he kept like walking towards the front, and I think there might have been a coffin, so I tried to get down off these bleachers I was sitting up on. Like, you know when they take the bleachers in the gym and they pull them in? Mm-hmm. So it's just like a big tall stack on the wall. I was sitting on one of those. So when I tried to get down, by the time I got down, he was leaving the chapel again. And I woke up and started crying.
Weird. I
don't know what the hell that was supposed to mean. But like that's how well that my brain not only recalls data when I'm awake, pulls full dreams out. And it's just like, holy shit.
You definitely need to try a psychedelic.
Yeah, I think that goes against all of my straight edge beliefs.
I don't know. How straight edge are you? When you
so you never
take like aspirin, Tylenol.
That's not straight edge. That's being a fucking weirdo.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I wanted to know
That's
how
a pain
straight edge
reliever.
are you?
But like
Caffeine?
I don't drink pop at all.
No coffee?
Uh-uh.
No caffeine?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Not because I do it for that, just because I don't want to get fat.
Sure. Yeah, you're not just avoiding the caffeine, but at the same time, you're still taking caffeine.
Yeah, so like when I had my hernia surgery last year, right? The doctor prescribed me, I don't know, like Vicodin.
Yeah.
I told him, like, I'm not going to fill that. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I am completely against painkillers and all that. Like, illegal painkillers. Well, prescription strength painkillers that people get hooked on.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck with any opiates. So I'm just going to do it with ibuprofen. You just go like, okay. I came back for my post-op checkup like 36 hours after my surgery. He's like, so how are you feeling? You didn't get the pain pills? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I iced it. And I'm like, getting out of bed to take a piss was awful because figuring out how to rock up and like I don't want to engage my core as I get out. So it took me on average 8 minutes to get up and take a leak, where if my dad would have been in the room with me, I probably would have still used like an empty milk jug and trucker bombed it.
I think the hallucinogens would fit in there though, because you're not taking them to get rid of a pain. You're not taking them to put yourself asleep. You're taking them to learn. You're taking them to learn more about your brain,
basically
about
to trip
yourself.
out.
Well, that's the quick explanation of it, and then it's kind of dated. That's just a bad word for it, because when you say tripping or whatever, you just automatically think of fucking Shaggy Doo, you know?
With a negative connotation.
Right, and
I'd wake up in a psych ward somewhere like a day later and they'd be like, what the fuck did you get into?
Yeah, there's certain ones that you don't have to worry about that. Like acid is one that you have to worry about that.
Obviously.
Mushrooms aren't going to drive you crazy. Salvia won't drive you crazy.
But
DMT won't drive you crazy.
Somebody I knew, we talked about this before we were recording, that I knew this chick that did salvia, and she said it just made her feel sick.
Yeah, well, and each person's different as far as that goes. She might be a person that gets just sick easily. She might get motion sickness or whatever.
Well, I won't smoke anything.
You don't have to do salvia. Then there's plenty of hallucinogens that you can just eat.
I really don't have interest in any of that.
Yeah, I think once you study more, you think you might change your mind.
I don't think I will, because anything that could potentially affect the physiology of my brain.
Well, none of them will affect the physiology.
None of them should. I always worry about when
again, once you study more,
absolute
you'll see which ones I'm
statements.
talking about. They are very safe. Like, you don't have a chance. The only thing is going to happen is you're going to learn more. You're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to learn more about how your brain works. Possibly how the fucking universe works. It's a fucking game changer.
Is it
That's
going to be like that episode of The
will.
Simpsons where Homer tripped balls and then he went into the desert and had some weird spiritual search that had to do with a coyote?
That's peyote. That's a 3-day long fucking journey.
3-day long journey.
Mostly. I mean, there's probably ways to end it sooner, but as far as I know with peyote, you don't stop tripping until you throw up. You have to throw up. You got to get the mescaline out of your body, and then you stop.
Do you watch Workaholics?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I've seen it a couple times, though. Yeah, they tripped at work a few times, didn't they?
There was an episode where I believe Adam secretly gave them peyote smoothies.
And see, that's
they were
nonsense to watch,
the
though.
fuck out at work.
Because that's adultering your opinion on...
I think all those
shit.
dudes have used that stuff before, so they have a fairly accurate benchmark to
right, but they're
portray it.
But they're doing it for fun, shits and giggles. You know, they're not trying to get anything out of it, and there's nothing wrong with that until it becomes that's what fucking everybody does. You know?
Durs turned into a bird.
Huh?
Durs on the show.
I don't watch
the
it.
tall, straight-laced looking, clean-shaven guy.
Yeah.
He turned into a bird man. This was after they
That's
started
nonsense.
tripping. They were trying to walk to the bathroom to get away from their desk so people wouldn't see them tripping. And then all of a sudden the hallway they were in started tilting. And then there was like water and less gravity. They were holding on to door frames trying to not fly away.
Yeah. Again, it's just nonsense of making all the hallucinogens just look like a waste of time. You know? And that's what's fucking closing people off from trying this shit. And trying to, you know, without sounding too fucking hippie-like, expand your mind. That's the next level. Once you can control, or once you know more about your mind, you're going to be an evolved human.
Well, according to Sting, the next level is being able to have tantric orgasms. So shouldn't I master that before I try to alter reality?
didn't say anything about an alternate reality. You don't know what reality is until you take hallucinogens.
What if I was able to do them both at the same time?
Do what?
Take like DMT and then learn how to have tantric orgasms.
You could.
Just like, I cannot tell you how many colors I'm seeing right now, but I can tell you that I have been jizzing for 12 hours.
The answers could be given to you during an ayahuasca trip or a DMT trip. The problem, like I said, is a lot of people that go on these trips don't bring all that much back with them because they don't have the ability to
recall
the shit. They bring back something every time, and usually it sounds like there's one main lesson that the ayahuasca is trying to teach you, or the DMT is trying to teach you per trip. So there's main goal, and then there's a bunch of fucking other things that you learn throughout it too. But then when you come back, you really only remember the main goal.
I wonder if David Carradine used to trip when he hung himself and jerked off. I mean, there was that one time that he didn't quite make it. But according to his wife, he was murdered. Like, you gotta wonder, like, when kids play the choking game, they say they get high from it.
Yeah.
They start, like, kind of tripping a little bit because they're depriving their brains of oxygen. But then you see those stupid kids that start doing it, and then they, like, fall through a glass table, and the video makes it onto Tosh.0. Because every idiot and their mom has a camera on their phone to record video and then does so.
Yeah.
But you gotta wonder, like, if you choke yourself, does that make you start to see fucked up shit too? Obviously not in the same way, because it's not triggering. What did you say that gland was in the brain?
Pineal.
Pineal gland. It probably doesn't trigger it the same way. But I think of people having, like, an otherworldly experience. I kind of feel like the guy from Kung Fu, The Legend Continues, swinging from a closet pole with his dick in his hand. He was on some sort of spiritual journey. He wasn't just trying to gag.
You're an idiot.
What was the name of that guy you said, the guy at the U of M now that you want to interview, that knows, he's like a foremost authority, like one of the godfathers of Entheogens?
Dennis McKenna.
Dennis
Terrence
McKenna.
McKenna's brother.
Okay.
The surviving McKenna.
What happened to the other one?
He got cancer.
What kind of cancer?
I can't remember.
I mean, hopefully nothing linked to the experimentation he was doing
No.
with hallucinogens.
Well, no, it wasn't from that, but he ended up not getting treatment because of that, because he wanted to go more of the holistic way of doing things. That was the difference between them two. Terrence was more of a hippie. He's the one who came up with the stoned ape theory. Monkeys, we were all monkeys at one point, and they found mushrooms because they were eating shit that they just find, you know, and they found these mushrooms, ate them.
Not literally eating shit, just eating whatever they would find.
Well, right, yeah.
So we were Neanderthals, well, before pre-Neanderthal.
Right.
And then the monkeys ate shrooms
And their
tripped
brains.
out and expanded their brains.
Right.
And they started having different ideas, like working with tools and walking upright.
Once-
and that's what got the gears of evolution turning.
Right, once we got a hold of tools, we were able to get more protein because we were able to kill more animals, right?
Right.
Animal protein makes your brain bigger. So as we evolved, yeah, that was basically what kicked it off. And then Dennis McKenna comes up more things from like biology or science, neurology, psychology. He's not so into the mystical shamanism of the side of things.
So less religious and more expanding of your
Intellectual mind.
consciousness, yeah.
Right. And that's kind of where I come from from too, because I'm not a spiritual person. I'm not into the religious sides of things.
But
I do believe that hallucinogens will make you see things differently and make you grasp reality a little bit better. And who doesn't want to explore their fucking mind, you know?
I don't know. Hopefully, I'd hate to find things I locked away long ago.
You got some kind of weird jerking off.
No, this
thing in
has
your head.
nothing to do with masturbating.
Well, no, I'm saying, but everything seems to lead to that, so there must have been something fucked up that happened when you were jerking off one time.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't think I did that till I was like 13. So.
Well, maybe somebody was jerking off in front of you all the time when you were a baby. And you just had to lay there and watch it, but you couldn't do anything about it because you couldn't communicate yet.
This is true.
Your dad was just sitting there fucking going down on it.
It's an unsettling thought.
Washing your baby bottles with one hand, stroking it with the other.
I think I was breastfed. So I was going to say, in that scenario, he'd be jerking off to the visual of my mom breastfeeding.
Oh, breastfeeding you. How long did your mom breastfeed for?
I don't know.
You should find that out.
It's not one of those things I just want to ask her because she'll like, why do you want to know? You can't fucking ask her anything.
Hopefully she wasn't one of them ladies that did it until you were like 4.
No.
There's some people who do it with their fucking 8-year-olds, I guess. How is that not fucked up?
Mother's milk is best, apparently.
I guess. Fucking, that's awful.
I don't know how you
People
don't
fucking-
fuck a kid up for life. Like, imagine... Now, it's bad enough that it's hard for some people to find dates, so they have no time, so they use online dating. And even then, people are like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm trying online dating. Imagine trying online dating and the sea of horse shit you have to get through to meet anybody worth even talking to. And then you go out on a date with somebody, and then you're just talking, oh, you tell me about, like, when you were growing up. Well, you know, I was raised by my mom because I never knew my dad, and we moved around a lot. She didn't have a lot of boyfriends. She breastfed me till I was 8. And whoa, wait, what? Go back. She breastfed me till I was 8. What do you mean? She breastfed me until I was 8, and then she figured that I was strong enough that she could wean me off, and I could go back to regular milk, like everybody else.
That's awful normal
At 8.
dates of you.
Right. That'd be like the first date. And you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. And then they never come back. That has to fuck with your scope of social interaction.
Definitely.
That's like the dark secret that you fear that anytime you introduce a significant other to your mom, that she's going to mention that. What did he tell you that he was on the tit until he was 8 years old?
Yeah, because the mom's probably all proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, creepy.
Hopefully not long. Apparently I want nothing to do with my mom's vagina. They had to cut me out of her. Yeah, I must have taken one look at the exit and went, fuck that, nope, hanging out. Put my hands out and tried to be that, like you're trying to stand up in an elevator off the ground while it's moving.
Yeah.
You're trying to, like, wall walk. That must have been me inside the uterus. And I'm like, all right, get the scalpel. I guess we're doing it this way.
Cut that little fucker out of her. Cut the demon out of her.
Right. Which also, my ex was a C-section, and then both of my kids were C-sections.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't mean anything, really. Except for somebody had a narrow hip.
Yeah, well, I think
Narrow
they
waist,
talk about
whatever.
there's like a slight genetic predisposition that if you were, but I've heard that if you were a C-section birth, you're more likely to have children that are born cesarean. I talked to the nurse about it more when we had them, but, you know, I had Brunhilde, the SS midwife.
I can only see that being if you're female. Like,
Well, right.
because, like, well, that wouldn't, it shouldn't affect your kids. I don't know.
If both of us. Can you imagine that? Just like you're trying to impregnate your wife, like, by the way, I was born via C-section, so get ready to get cut in a few months. What? No, stop, no! I'm guessing you weren't.
No, I don't think so.
Natural birth.
Yeah. My mom fell off a horse when she was pregnant with me, though. Little fun tidbit. I don't partake in riding horses to this day. Not really because of that. I just feel
Right.
like I wouldn't, if I was a horse, I wouldn't want a 150-pound dude on me.
Well, they're so big.
Yeah, but still. And you put this thing in their mouth that they got a bite on them, like fucking
The
riding
bridle.
them. Well, you gotta pull, you wanna go laugh? You gotta pull laugh, make the whole fucking horse's head turn laugh. Yeah, I just never been interested in riding horses. I've had a few ex-girlfriends.
They were like super into it.
No, they weren't super into it, but they would always, we should go ride horses sometimes. And I would just be like, doesn't sound like a fun thing to do.
I think I was around 9 or 10, and we were driving in the minivan to somewhere, and we're going down some county road around these parts. I think we were going down 242, like way before it was developed around here.
Right,
And
where
some
they
chick-
were all dirt roads going off of 242.
Pretty much. And there was this horse running down the side of the road, and some girl laying next to a sign, and somehow she clipped the sign with her leg and got tossed off the horse. And that at a young age put in my mind, like, horses are fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Even though they're not, they're very gentle animals.
See, I can vaguely remember seeing people riding their horses up like where Rainbow used to be, off of Main and 65.
Oh,
Remember Rainbow?
Way back in the day before they redeveloped that whole area.
Right. Rainbow pretty much dates it like that a long time ago already.
I
But
really
then-
had to think about that one too.
I can also remember sometimes when we'd go to Wisconsin, there'd be a farmer, obviously, who would move his cattle across the road right there. And sometimes we'd have to wait while these fucking cows crossed the road so that we could go.
Jesus.
And that was just east of Rainbow. There used to be a ranch or a farmer back there somewhere.
Yeah, that's when there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Now there's like something every 5 feet.
Yeah.
Now what used to be Rainbow is what? That gym and that Foss swimming school.
Gold, yeah.
And
yeah.
another Walgreens, because, you know, we don't have enough of those around.
Is it a Walgreens or is it a what is it?
CVS?
CVS, yeah.
I think that one's a Walgreens.
Oh.
But I'm sure there's a CVS like 2 blocks away.
Yeah, they're usually right across the street from each
Those
other.
fucking idiots.
How many of those stores do you really need?
Well,
Especially
if-
when you got pharmacies in Cub now. You got pharmacies in fucking Walmart.
Everything.
Right, yeah. Everybody needs their drugs.
Well, plus they do it for old people, so they don't have to drive far. So that's why there's a Walgreens every like 5 miles.
Yeah, but for old people, they can get their meds in the mail.
Maybe. Who knows what Medicare even covers these days?
Yeah, I don't know.
Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah, I know.
So that's we should probably die before we're like 55.
I got a letter in the mail a couple years ago, basically telling me don't count on Social Security.
Who sent that?
The fucking IRS.
Was it trying to?
Or no, not
expire
the IRS. It was
Social
from the fucking
Security
Social Security Administration. Yes.
Jesus, I never got one of those.
It
I
said-
know not to rely on it.
It didn't say that in as many words, but that was the gist of the paper that I got. It's basically because there's all these people drawing it right now that never paid into it, that there ain't gonna be money when it's my turn
Like elderly foreigners.
or something. But it basically said don't count on Social Security as your retirement because it's not gonna be there.
Don't worry. When Jmann becomes president, I'm going to make it so that they have to be here like 15 years and work into it before they can start drawing benefits. You can't move here at like 60 and then a few years later be like, okay, it's time for my Social Security benefits.
Right.
No, motherfucker. You can go back to Pakistan because you can't have our money because I need that money. I've been paying in.
Right. Well, and then you should make it optional. It's an optional thing to pay into. Because some people aren't going to want to. Some people already bitch about it being taken out.
Where I work, there's 2 forms of retirement. There's Social Security, and then there's also like the state fund that you pay into.
Yeah.
ERA. Yeah, they gave people the option that they can alter how they pay into Social Security now to focus more money going into their PARA for retirement.
Huh.
Because once it's into your PARA, they guarantee they can get that. Social Security benefits, well,
That's just going to a giant fund that all these old people are sucking dry, apparently.
all our parents are boomers, and my mom's already starting to draw because she's 66 or she's going to be 67 this year. So she's already drawing benefits. And my old man, he just turned 60. Now, how old are your folks?
We're around the same age because they've both been retired a couple years now.
So are they're drawing benefits?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know my dad gets enough from his retirement to not even have to worry.
Well, yeah, military pension, yeah.
Well, and both government pensions.
Wait, what was he doing? What other government job did he have?
Post office.
Ah,
He was real high up, though. Like, he was a postal inspector or something. He basically worked more for Homeland Security at the end of the post office than anything.
looking for suspicious packages.
Well, I think, from what I gathered, he was the guy who had to go around to all the post offices and make sure that they were doing everything properly.
Complying with the security checks.
I don't know if he actually had to try to send drugs through the mail and see how they handled it, But yeah, it was his guys that actually raided Tom Petter's place.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's how they fucked him.
Finger hut. I just picture like your dad coming home and be like, "Hey guys, I hit this package sitting on the table, and I noticed that you guys are all sitting around eating brownies right now, staring at a TV that's not on. Does anybody want to tell me anything? Because I kind of need that for work."
No, he'd never leave something like that out.
What about like the garage?
No,
No.
he knew better. Like I said, I don't really know what he did. He could
What
have
if
been
that was
Chandler for all I knew.
That was a cover-up.
Yeah, he could be. Dude, my dad is so fucking morally straight that he could very well be CIA. I fucking believe it. Except for he was around too much, I think, to be CIA. But like, my dad
that
is...
could be part of the shtick.
My dad is like the best role model to ever have. It's kind of fucked up I came from him, but he's fucking never smoked a cigarette in his life.
That's okay. You turned out great.
I've never seen him drunk. Like, I know he's gotten drunk before, and I've seen him drink beer, but I've never seen him altered from drinking before at all. Like, you would never know.
Your dad sounds like Stan Smith
Who's that?
from American Dad.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what he does. He works for the CIA.
Yeah, but they kind of make that character a dumb guy, though.
A little bit.
And a little over-patriotic,
So your dad doesn't look at old photos of Reagan and weep?
Right, right. But no, yeah, my dad's... If you want a moral compass, you just fucking talk to my dad.
This goddamn Obama guy, he's nothing like the Gepper was. So here's what we're gonna wrap it up, and the next show we do, we're really gonna delve into the entheogens more. Are you gonna contact that guy via email, or did you already?
No, I wanna do a little more research on him too, because like I said, I don't want to be asking him the same fucking questions that I can just go listen to all the podcasts he's already done. And I want to read his book too, so...
Do you know the name of the book?
Yes, it's The Brotherhood of the Screaming Abyss.
Alright, well that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. We will talk to you soon. I'm Jmann.
I'm Danny.
And that's the end.